One mammoth could feed a tribe for months, but no human had ever defeated one alone. Khai didn't see monsters. He saw the only chance his people had to survive the coming winter. Tor wanted to fight. Khai knew courage without a plan would only become another funeral. The tribe had failed another hunt. Hunger was becoming stronger than hope. Children should never learn the meaning of hunger, yet every generation before them already had.
Bora remembered a story older than anyone still alive. No hunter stood alone in the painting. Every spear pointed together. For the first time, Khai wasn't drawing the past. He was drawing the future. Every person would have a role. No one would hunt alone again.
Today, they would not fight like 18 hunters. They would hunt as one tribe. The hunt began long before the first spear was thrown. Every footprint revealed the giant's direction, its speed, and its weakness. A successful hunt depended on eyes as much as strength. No words were needed. Trust had become their language. For the first time, every person carried a different responsibility. Strength had its place, but only at the right moment. Every herd had one member that couldn't keep up. For the first time, 18 hearts beat with one purpose. The plan was no longer a drawing on stone. It had become reality. They were no longer hunting with fear. They were hunting with purpose. Every hunter trusted the plan, even before they understood the outcome. The giant had taken the first wrong step, exactly as Khai had hoped. They weren't chasing the mammoth, they were guiding it. A frightened animal always searched for the easiest escape. The hardest part of the hunt was waiting. The trap was almost complete.
Now! 18 hunters moved as one. For the first time, humans stood together against a giant.
This was no longer a hunt driven by instinct. This was strategy, the beginning of civilization.
No one moved until the leader gave the signal. For Tor, waiting was harder than fighting.
Khai wasn't waiting for courage. He was waiting for exhaustion.
Now, every spear would become one. Alone, every spear was weak. Together, they struck like one force. No hunter rushed forward alone. Every step depended on another. The giant had fallen, not because humans were stronger, but because they trusted one another. They did not celebrate death. They honored the life that would keep their own alive. Nothing was wasted. Every gift from the mammoth meant another chance to survive.
That evening, they returned, not as hunters, but as the first true team in human history.
No single hunter could carry the giant alone. Every part of the mammoth had value. Nothing would be wasted. Food was more than meat. Survival depended on balance. Children did not learn by listening. They learned by watching. For the first time, they were preparing food for days that had not yet arrived. The greatest victory wasn't catching food. It was keeping it. Bora had seen many winters, but never a tribe this united. Some victories deserve to be remembered forever.
The mammoth fed the tribe, but cooperation would feed every civilization that came after.
The painting was no longer art. It had become a lesson. Even the youngest could understand what teamwork looked like. Practice turned memory into instinct. Knowledge grew stronger every time it was shared. The giants would return, and this time, the tribe would be ready. The strongest tribes were built by hands working together. Stories survived because each generation chose to teach the next.
A tribe that remembered together would survive together. Another challenge was already approaching, colder than any beast they had ever faced. The mammoth had tested their unity, but the Ice Age would test their civilization. Winter was no longer approaching. It had arrived. For the first time, they were preparing before disaster arrived.
Food healed hunger. Knowledge healed the tribe. Strength became more valuable when it protected others.
Every small task mattered, because every life mattered.
For the first time, no child went to sleep hungry. Bora realized something no one had ever seen before: a future. Their greatest weapon was no longer the spear. It was shared memory.
The world was still ruled by ice, but humanity had begun to change its own destiny. The mammoth had taught them to work together. Now the Ice Age would decide whether that lesson was enough. The snow had erased yesterday's footprints, but not yesterday's lessons. The wolves had returned, but they had stayed away from the fire. The predators had learned something new. Humans were no longer easy prey.
For the first time, children could play without fear of starving. One generation survives only when it teaches the next.